Happy Wednesday, Clinton County, Wilmington, Ohio 45177. As I've always stated, um, I am never above apologies or stating I'm wrong or admitting I'm wrong about things or some things, not all things. But um, I had a very extensive conversation with a former magistrate, and um, to which I respect a great deal. Not from the state of Ohio, family friend. As I've stated before, my grandmother was a clerk of courts in Davidson County, Nashville, for the longest time, or worked in the clerk of courts. I don't know if worked for the clerk of courts or for the judge in Davidson County for most of her adult life. So my family knows some legal beagles, essentially. So after that very in-depth conversation, I'm going to extend, and I did get. Um, uh, so let me. I get, and this is no kidding. So far, there's probably upwards of 30 people contacting me, and some of the things are very, very, very in tune with what I'm doing, and what I'm going to expose. And there's no doubt in my mind this is going to happen, and I promise you, um, that will happen because three of these cases were it's just it's disgusting. And is this system in my area perfect? Not even close. Is it flawed? Most definitely, highly. And do I think there's certain to a certain degree corrupt? Most definitely, my opinion. But it was explained to me. Um, in smaller areas like this, you learn as a magistrate or a judge to kind of put trust in the lawyers in your area. And can those lawyers deceive the judge and the magistrate, or kind of put something by them and say, "Hey, trust me on this one," and they say, "Yeah, okay," and agree to that? According to this conversation, yes, yes. And do I believe that's happened in some situations here? Yes, I do. I believe that's happened. So, um, I got it. Something. My this keeps freezing, guys. Hang on a second. Anyway, um, I read um, a, some information was given to me by a person, a, a, a parent, um, incredibly young, and I read the document, and I was needless to say beyond shocked. I really was, and um, I've had this. I've been holding on to this document now for, I don't know, a couple of weeks because I didn't really know how to um, digest it until I spoke to my friend, and I did, and they asked my opinion, and I said I agree here with what Miss Rowland has. I mean, it's fucking spot on. It is what it is. There's people can hate or love me. And I think we've all can conclude I don't give a shit either way. But I'll call a spade, and that's it. I decided back then that I was not going to pursue or help this person, and they got pissed at me, and that's okay. I don't care. But to a degree, I'm going to extend my apologies to Miss Rowland because after speaking again, and this is if had I not had this conversation, never would I've doing what I've done, and I'm glad I did. I think God leads us to certain places, certain times when it's needed. And this person asked me a question, or he basically said, can we get them all right? Do you expect us to get them all right? Are we going to get them all right? And my answer was, fuck yeah. And he said, do you get them all right? Are you always right? That kind of, and I no, I know I'm not. I think I'm taking out this human element here, and I thought to myself, am I holding these people to a level of regard that's unobtainable, or putting certain expectations on these humans that it shouldn't be expected? Yeah, probably, because I have a mindset, and we can blame the Marine Corps for that, and even stated in my exit that adapting to civilian life was not something I did well or do well. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys, if you're dealing with someone's life, you better fucking act like it's your own, or your own child, or your own mother, or your own sister, or your own brother. You know, but in that case that I've had now for, yeah, I'm not touching it. I'm not helping. I'm not. But the parental alienation case, do I think that the lawyer sold and sold herself and her fucked up science to Miss Rowland? I fucking do. And do I think that Miss Rowland probably maybe saw and oh shit, I can't turn back now? Probably. I don't know. But nothing or no one is ever going to fucking change my mind on that case. Period. I read too much, and there's no fucking way in hell that in that case that wasn't spiteful, intentional, and illegally trafficking or and the stealing of kids. You're not gonna tell me otherwise. You don't take someone's children for 3 fucking years without legal grounds of doing so, other than some quack in New York now being sued for fraud, probably more than by one person. But again, can they get them all wrong or all right? No. And with a couple of, actually 3 that I've read, again, I cannot say that I don't 100% agree with what she's with her conclusions. And there's that. Dislike me, get pissed. I don't give a shit. I mean, what I read and the details of 3. I mean, the 1 just really got a hold of me. But moving right along, more people that have aged out are stepping forward, and I got to tell you, if the people prosecuting for CPS isn't or hasn't been requested to be investigated, somebody at every level is failing. Every level. If you are a cop, if you are a lawyer, if you are a fucking bystander and you shuffle papers in that office and you know what's going on and you haven't fucking reported it, you're just as guilty as she is, or her, whomever is doing it. Because I haven't really pinned down yet. I got an idea. But yeah, nah. Oh man. So do I think there's some shit being swept under the table? My opinion. I do. Sorry. I mean, I know what I went through. I do. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking to myself, who in the fuck is this person? Have they not heard a word I said? And I'm going to tell you something. Anybody want to challenge me on my case? To fucking bring it, because I can articulate that shit to the letter, to the period, to the dot. You want to see some bias? It's going to ruin some families. I promise you that. Yeah. Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, So I had never. Well, yes, I have. I'm not even going to get into that. But in this area, if you think that people don't get away with shit because of whom they are, you're blind. You're just simply blind, and that's okay. But for those people to get away with something so grotesque and gruesome, and other families not something get away with something so very light, nah. And so okay, there's that. I want to speak to this rape kit, Miss Allison's. Um, so I find out, and well, what Chief Wilson explained to me made sense, and I mean I'm definitely going to look into it, but it does make sense. But what doesn't make sense is the following. So what I presented to Mr. Wilson to Chief Wilson was this: why did it take? What in your opinion? Why do you believe it took 10 years to submit this rape case? Then he tells me when Mike DeWine came into office, I'm not a fan for several reasons. It doesn't matter, but he ordered every rape kit that had not been tested to be tested. Okay, anybody see a problem with that? Why the fuck was this? Why was it never tested? Oh, that's right. The minor was talked out of pursuing her original claim, and persuaded into. And this is her alleging, persuaded into changing her and admitting to falsifying. Do I believe that? Do I believe that this person was not assaulted? No, I don't. I believe she was. I believe with all my heart, I do. My opinion, based off what I've heard, yes, I do. Saying things like, if you don't do this, we'll tell everybody you're this and that, you're blah, blah. Yeah, this just sounds typical. And then one of that little jerk off's friends saying, she was very loose. She blah, blah, blah. She did that. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that sounds like something that a motherfucker like that would say. Saying that a girl, because she has sex, she can't be raped. The fuck out of here. Nah. But I mean, it's just certain things you pick up on. So, anyway, you've not heard the last of that one. Period. And if there is, in fact, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, she will be getting into those records. And that's going to be some telling evidence, because if she has paperwork, if these two people have paperwork, and I'm not saying this is true, that the lawyer represented them both, or maybe there were some misunderstandings, but if there's paperwork that this girl has and that the other gentleman has, that has the same lawyer's signature or the same handwriting, that's not going to be good. That's not going to be good at all. Or if they say she went in unrepresented, boy, how inconvenient would that be? Wait a minute. You insisted on me having an attorney and a single hearing and a custody issue, and this girl was fucking alleging rape, and you don't supply her with a lawyer, someone who should have been given Marcy Law rights immediately. I don't know. There's just so many holy shit moments in that, and so many things that's questioned, because I mean, I'll tell you this: this girl is putting that lawyer's name out. She's challenging him. I mean, she ain't backing down. She's not backing down a bit. And there again, there's two sides to every story until that other side's told. I mean, you're kind of left with one. But she mentioned something that this lawyer was paying her to work for him after school, $300 some odd a week, but not on the payroll. She was 18, so that might be a problem. And she said she's got canceled checks from where this guy was paying her. I don't know. I mean, of course, there's a lot of people that say, hey, you know what, the guy was helping her out because he's seen that she didn't have anybody and he felt sorry for her. Is that possible? I'm not going to say it's not. It's not. But I'll tell you this: if that person represented two fucking people in a court hearing, oh shit. People can have, that's just going to be so bad. And if there's people that come forward and say, yeah, we was under the understanding that he was representing us, and then I can't imagine Mr. Reed going into a court hearing with no lawyer. But then how'd that go down inside the courtroom? Did it even go to a courtroom? I don't know. Good questions. But like I said, and I've told a couple of people this. I have. I said, you better hope and fucking pray to God you're not lying about an ounce of this. Not a single ounce. Because you think your life's fucked up now? Stand by. I mean, but I honestly, my opinion, nah. The three or four people that I have that after hearing and seeing their stories, one of which beaten, I mean, her damn near her whole life, and high school teachers pulling her out of class and calling CPS themselves, not once, not twice, but several times. But yet, because of who this parent was, not a single fucking charge. Or maybe because who he was related to. Oh, there's going to be lots of things coming your way, folks. And I got to tell you, again, it's easy, and I'm guilty of this, to get heated and overly engulfed and in passion with something. But I'm going to tell you, and unless you've been there, and some of you have, and some of you haven't, unless you've experienced it, and then you have an idea, and you can kind of relive what these people are going through in your own fucking head, and you just fucking become engulfed and inflamed with fury and rage, and you feel their pains, and then you think to yourself, I fucking want to help these people because, hey, you know what? I mean, what else have I got to do? But I feel compelled. I do. I mean, again, I'm not the fucking healthiest person in the world, but I can still get around, and I can still talk, and I can still research, and I can still, hey man, I would, but again, 10 years in a rape kit, and I mean, what? Nah. And oh, by the way, okay, so yeah, just another reiteration here. So could the individual being alleged refuse DNA? Yes, absolutely they can. But then that is when the detective, Mr. Riley, or the police officer, I think it was Riley on that, could have directly went to the judge and said, I want a warrant. No matter what story you believe, you still should go through the due process here. Did that take place? Nope. But if it did, it's not anywhere in his paper. But anyway, potentially, but we'll see. I mean, that case is that is going to be unsealed. It's going to be unsealed, and I believe, yeah. I don't know. Do I think it's a coincidence that there's people? No, yeah, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that. But again, I'm going to end, Miss Rowland. I do extend an apology for probably trusting some people you probably shouldn't have, or you probably thought you could. Now you're probably second guessing, or at least I would, because I mean, if somebody took a chance with my fucking reputation, looking for a heavy pocket, yeah, fuck you. Yeah, that ain't happening. No thanks. But again, that whole thing with this parental alienation case, yeah, you ain't that. I don't apologize for you to that on that. No way. No way. No way. I've read too much. I see too much, and I know too much, and I know this industry and how fucking corrupt and it's $1 billion industry, folks. Billion, not a million. $1 billion industry. Yes, trafficking children in the United States under the label of parental alienation. It's a fucking $1 billion business. By the way, look it up. Diagnosed at highest 90% of the time by the plaintiff's lawyer in a courtroom. People just don't go and say, "Hey, what do you think's wrong with me? Oh, you're a parental alienator." Oh no, these people are fucking sought out. They are. They say, "Hey, damn, that divorce lasted 3 years. How?" Well, they go to Greene County, Ohio, and they pull the court case, and they find out the person who aided in that, and they're like, "I'm gonna contact them too. I'm gonna make me some money, get famous." Well, you're gonna get famous, all right. Simplify. God bless. What the hell? Okay, so just making sure that was on. Someone was saying something and it stopped. Okay. Yeah. So there's that. That's the purpose of my podcast. Um, so I can't wait for this entire um, this entire. I'm sorry, I got to go over one of my. I'm getting messaged here. Simplifying. God bless. You dickhead.